Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and in this video we're going to compare the Samsung Galaxy S3 with the Galaxy Nexus. The similarity is that both these phones are manufactured by Samsung, but the S3 is the flagship Android phone from Samsung and the Galaxy Nexus is from Google. So let's have a closer look at the same. But before even comparing it, I can just say that the Galaxy S3 will beat the Nexus in all the benchmarks. But it'll be interesting to see how both of these stack up. So let's have a closer look at the same. So here are the two phones. This is the Samsung Galaxy S3 and this is the Galaxy Nexus. And there is a lot of similarity between the phones. So first let me talk about the same. Let me close these. And both these phones sport a HD resolution screen. That's a 720p HD resolution screen. And that means it has a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. That's the same for both. But the Nexus has a screen size of 4.65 inches, whereas the Galaxy S3 sports screen that has a size of 4.8 inches. But again, if you look at the phones, the S3 is just slightly taller and wider than the Galaxy Nexus. Let me put it on the top. And as you can see, in terms of thinness, both the phones are pretty slim, but the Nexus has a tapered down approach. It's thin at the top and a little bit bulkier at the bottom, whereas the S3 is more or less similar throughout the phone's length. And just let me stack it like this. And as you can see, the S3 is slightly taller and a little bit wider compared to the Nexus. Moving towards the back, here there are some differences. The rear facing camera on the S3 is an 8 megapixel shooter, and on the Nexus it's a 5 megapixel shooter. And I have to say I'm really impressed by the camera performance of the Galaxy S3. Again, one thing I like about the Galaxy Nexus is this textured back panel, because it's much more easier to hold and to grip the phone, whereas I do not like the back panel of the S3. It's really smooth and slippery. Moving on the front, if you notice, we do not have any physical buttons on the Galaxy Nexus. Google decided to have these touch type capacitive buttons that are part of the screen. So the display takes up a portion of that. Whereas on the Galaxy S3, we have one physical home button over here, and we have two touch type capacitive buttons. That's for the menu and for the back. And here the similarities end, and under the hood, the Galaxy S3 as of now is one of the most powerful Android phones. It comes with a quad-core processor that's clocked at 1.4 gigahertz, and it comes with a powerful GPU, that's the Mali 400 GPU. Whereas on the other hand, the Galaxy Nexus sports just a dual-core processor, that's a 1.2 gigahertz, and not that great GPU, that is a PowerVR SGX 540. We'll know about that in the benchmarks. And now let us switch on both these phones. And right away I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. I'm on the same Wi-Fi network. And first we'll open up the browsers for both. And I click on the same. And I have cleared the cache for both of them. I'm going to share my location for both. And now let us go to a website called Engadget. I'm going to do a Google search for both, and 1, 2. And as you can see, the S3 was a tad faster. One thing I've noticed is, let me increase the brightness a little bit for the S3. One thing I've noticed is there is a slight bluish tinge to the screen of the S3, whereas the Nexus has certainly a warmer tones. That is, it's more on the yellowish side. So that's a personal preference. Now I'm going to click on these Engadget links at the same time, 1, 2, and 3. And both of them are loading the mobile version, and for some reason the S3 loaded it a little bit late. I'm a little bit surprised because I thought the S3 would win. And let us scroll down. I just want to make clear that both of these phones are running the ICS 4.0.4. Now let us go to this desktop version, and I'm going to try to click it on the same time. 1, 2 and 3. And it's a close one because both of them loaded it almost at the same time. Let us scroll, and as you can see, it's pretty fast. Both of the phones are pretty fast in terms of web browsing. Let us do one more test, and now what I'm going to do is try to click on this BMW story at the same time, and let's see which one loads faster. 1, 2. I'm going to just zoom in a bit so I don't miss the touch. 1, 2 and 3. And this time, as we can see, the S3 rendered the page faster. So it's not conclusive which one is faster. Let us do one more. Let's just go back, and I'm going to hit back again on this one also, and let us go to one more story. This Kobo story, no. Let us go to this Chrome OS version 20. 1, 2 and 3. And this time the Nexus loaded it a bit faster, but again I would say the browsing speed is comparable to both of them. So in terms of browsing, I would say it's neutral. Both of them are very fast, so no issues regarding the same. Now moving towards the battery, the Galaxy S3 has a slight edge in my opinion. It sports a 2100 milliampere battery, whereas the Nexus sports a 1750 milliampere battery. And I found that the battery life on the Galaxy S3 is a tad better compared to the Galaxy Nexus. Now moving towards the benchmarks, and here obviously the S3 with its quad-core Exynos processor blows away in the performance compared to the Nexus. But to just give you an idea, I ran the quadrant benchmark on both these, and I got a quadrant score of 5273 for the S3, and for the Nexus I got a score of 2030. And again, I would say it was blazingly fast on the S3. The quadrant benchmark finished almost 40% faster compared to the Nexus. And I also ran this Nina Mark II test, which is important and tests the GPU performance of the phone. And for the S3, I got an impressive score of 58.7. That is the most impressive score I have seen on any Android handset. And on the other hand, for the Galaxy Nexus, I got a score of 26.5, which is, I would say, above average but not that great. Anything above I would say 30 or 35 is great on a Nina Mark II, and a score of 58.7 that the S3 got is just incredible. So I played a couple of games. I'm not a big gamer on mobiles. I played a couple of games even on the Nexus, and I was able to play most of the games without any issues. But definitely, if gaming is a priority, I would definitely suggest the S3 to you, because right now there are not many quad-core games that can take advantage of the quad-core, but moving forward we might have some games that are optimized for the quad-core, and there the S3 with its Mali GPU will definitely shine over. Moving to the camera performance, on the Nexus we have a 5 megapixel shooter, and on the S3 we have an 8 megapixel shooter. And I have to say, the still photographs that we take with the S3 is way more superior compared to the Nexus. Don't get me wrong, even the photographs that we take with the Nexus is good, but definitely on the S3 it is great. I have to say the camera performance on the S3 was great, and it has to be one of the best camera phones I have tested on an Android phone. Video taking capabilities, both can take videos at 1080p, and I would give equal rating to both, because with the video footage even the Nexus was good enough. But definitely if you're going to take a lot of still photographs, the S3 wins over the Nexus. Now moving towards the Android updates, both these phones ship with the Android ICS as of now, and they are running the Android version 4.0 4.0.4. Let me show you the same over the Nexus also. But as this is a Nexus device, this is definitely going to get the Google updates faster, and as you can see, both are currently running the Android version 4.0.4, but this Nexus is soon going to get the Jelly Bean update, that is Android 4.1, by end of this July 2012. I'm sure the S3 is also going to get this Jelly Bean update in the near future, but we do not have any idea when we might get it. We might get it after 3 months or 6 months. There's no time frame. As of now, Samsung hasn't committed about it. So if you are a person who likes to have the latest Android updates on your phone, then definitely in the Nexus devices are going to get the Android updates way faster. Also do note that as this is a Nexus device, this runs the stock UI, that is the stock Android experience, that generally people call it the pure Google experience. But on the other hand, the Samsung Galaxy S3 runs on the Samsung TouchWiz UI. Don't get me wrong, it is very good UI, but again, it's not the pure stock Android experience. Moving down to the pricing, definitely the Galaxy Nexus is way cheaper compared to the S3. I would say it differs from region to region, but the Galaxy Nexus is approximately about 25 to 35% lower in price when compared to the S3. So there you have the differences between the S3 and the Galaxy Nexus. I would say that if you are a person who does a lot of gaming on your mobile phone, or also takes a lot of photographs primarily with your mobile phone, I would definitely opt for the S3. But if you do not take a lot of photographs and gaming is not your concern, then even the Galaxy Nexus is a very worthy phone considering the price point at which it sells. I hope this video helps. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.